Hey everybody, Coach Marline Paul here, streaming live from South Florida. I am here jamming. Thank you for joining me for today's Lunch and Learn. I am Coach Marlene, if you don't know me, and I help women who are fighting for their life in business get more productive, become more visible, and take their brand to the next level. Thank you for joining me today. If you're watching the replay, put hashtag replay. Maybe put a heart in the comments because we love you and you want to show us some love, right? So today we are talking about what is your brand superpower, and that goes in to something that is truly amazing. So if you're joining us and this is your first time, welcome to the community. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. All right, let's get to it. I'm going to make sure that I don't get interrupted by life, which is I'm a mom and I'm about to get interrupted. Yes. All right. This is what you get when you're a mom and an entrepreneur, where you have your kid that are on. So yeah, and he's like, "Are you doing a YouTube video?" Yes, I'm doing a YouTube live. So these kids are something else. So I'm just glad that you are on, and we're going to be talking about your brand. I try to do this lunch and learn every week if I can. Try to have a guest on to share what I'm talking about branding, business, and boss moves. So if you're getting on, please make sure you share because we do want to have that. All right, so let's get into today's discussion. All right, so I talk about what is your superpower as your brand. Let me just lower down this volume a little bit. And then we're going to talk about that a little bit more. What is your brand superpower? Basically, that begins by having a clear brand identity and defining the set values, defining your set values. So basically, when you have that, that provides direction, purpose, and focus for your business, right? So this part is very critical for you to understand what makes your brand unique and what your core values. So once you figure out what your core values are, those are the thing and what makes your brand unique, then you're able to talk to your right audience because this allows you to resonate with your audience and make you think about how you make your business decision. Like, what are you going to be doing? So when you have that clear values and that clear brand, you know who you're going to talk to. You're not going to be talking to random people because you know who you're talking to. All right. All right. So I'm going to get into a couple of things for your brand. I'm trying to do multitask things here, guys. I am trying to do that, but we're already talking about that. So if you have any questions or even in the replay, please post it in the chat. This is not going to be a long episode, but just post it in the chat so we can answer those questions for you, because this is what I'm here for. I am ready to educate you on your brand decision. Let me make sure I look at the chat in case anybody's live, but if I'm going to look at a replay, we can look at a replay. Yeah. All right. So what is your brand identity? So we're going to begin with that. That's the first part. What is your brand identity? So your brand identity encompasses all the tangible and intangible elements that sets your brand apart, and it reflects who you are. So what do I mean by that? I know everybody think about the logo. You talk about the letterheads. You talk about your colors. You talk about your tagline. Those are the tangible stuff. Maybe about your shirt. Maybe you always have a coffee mug. Sorry, I'm ripping a coffee mug for your business. I probably should do it this way. Repping a coffee mug for your business. Whatever it is, those are the tangible stuff. The intangible stuff comes with the values. How do you treat people? how do you talk to people? How do they see you? How do they perceive you? Are you a bubbly character? Are you are very melancholy? Do you always do certain stuff? How do you look? How does your business look? When you're going out in public, what do you want them to see? How do you want them to feel about your brand? Those are the intangible elements that sets your brand apart. And it also reflects who you are as a business, right? So now the tangible elements we talked about it a little bit are the visible part of your brand, your logo, your color palette, your font, your package design, the website look and feel. They should have a cohesive visual element. And that's key to have, okay, if I see them all around different platforms, I am able to know, okay, that reflect that brand. The intangible element, this is a little bit harder to define sometimes. So, but they're still an important component. It's like your brand voice, the personality, the tone, the mission, the reputation, the overall essence, what I just talked about. Finding your ideal brand character takes a lot of reflection. And if you need support in that, this is where I help you go in, dig deep, dive deep to figure out all those intangible areas of your brand, right? Okay, so next thing. So let's talk about the next part about finding your unique brand identity. So this takes, and I said this takes times to reflect on who you are at the core, what you offer your customers, and what makes you stand apart from your competitors and other alternatives. So you have to think about that in detail and make a list about that. So make a list of your strengths, your passion points, and the differentiating factor, I guess your differentiators that makes your business unique. And identify your superpowers, right? You want to identify your superpowers that way because that will be your unique position that no one else have. Basically, no as me, I love doing things hands-on. I like showing you. So me talking here is one part of who I am, but my thing that makes me a little bit different is not only will I tell you, I will show you, I will guide you one-on-one, group activity, because I want to make sure by the time you walk away from me with me, you are able to implement what I taught you. All right. So that's, and I have more about that too. So we talk about that. So next thing, create brand positioning. So you want to create a positioning statement that is clearly define and summarize what you do, for who you do it, and why you are the best choice. Making sure that that sets you apart from everybody. So basically that what and that who and that why, and so, and you probably, if you want to put how you do it, that will be a good aspect of it too. Now, the next thing is you want to research successful brand in your industry. Just because you're doing it, doesn't mean that, okay, you're going to stop there. You want to make sure you research other brands, other people who are doing exactly what you're doing, and see what they're doing well, what they're and how are they reaching their client, how are they getting their leads. Maybe figure out, okay, what am I doing different than them? So you can figure out what you do. So you can learn, you want to learn the lesson, you don't want to learn the hard way. So learn from others. So identify successful brand in your industry and identifies what aspect resonate with their audience. And then apply those lessons. Don't just learn about it, but you want to apply it to your brand. I was listening to something the other day where, it was saying, okay, I'm trying to target this market, but I have to find something market adjacent to figure out what they usually buy and figure, okay, what is their thought process? So you want to get into the psychological aspect of your ideal clients to see, okay, what are they buying? If this is the right time to buy that. So this is another thing. So we have those areas where you have to do, it takes a lot of reflection, listing your strengths, creating your positioning statement, and now doing some research. So once you have that done, the next thing that we're going to want to do is to establish your core brand values, right? So that one right here. If you need support, hey, I can help you on that. I probably shouldn't have done that. I'm Haitian, but so we do that hey thing sometimes. But you want you want to establish your brand value. So I'm going to give you some tips on how to do that, right? So um, let's get into it. So first, determine 3 to 5 essential values that are the most important to your business. I usually try to figure out what's your core values. So there's a whole exercise that we do on finding your core values and then seeing, okay, does that align with your business values? And if I want to be part of your core values too. So once you figure out those 3 to 5, I like to say 3, but the 3 to 5 values, essential values that are most important to your business, these values will inform your decision and guide how you operate. So, common brand values include integrity, transparency, quality, community, inclusivity, sustainability, empowerment, innovation. Choose whatever matters the most to you. So, if you want to go online and look up a list of values and narrow it down and pick your values, that would be the best thing. I think I did that a couple of times, that where I am looking at a whole bunch of them. I choose everything that resonate with me, and I go deeper and then start narrowing it down until I get to the 5. To narrow it down to like 10, then to whether you do choose all the lists and narrow it down to 20, top 20, top 10, then into top 5 and figure out, okay, do I need to go any more down? So you just keep on narrowing it down. Then you will see how it is. So that exercise, you can do that. Make sure your values truly resonate with your audience and reinforce your desire, brand image, and it's authentic. And it's a that should be, I would say, it's more authentic to your voice. So you want to be able to authentically connect with your audience. So usually the audience that you are connecting with have the same values that you have, right? All right, so let's continue. I'm probably going into that a lot, but if you made it this far, thank you so much for paying attention. I am so glad that you're there. If you haven't made it, so I am glad. If you have any questions, put in the chat. So we're just talking about what's your brand superpower. So remember, so we just talked about making sure that your values resonate with your audience, and remember to remain authentic. Remember to remain authentic to who you are. So you want to revisit your values often. So once you've set your values, you want to revisit it often, evaluate it, because sometime in your business, you might want to pivot a little bit, and that some things does not still align with your values, or you're going in a different direction. So this value exercise I just shared with you, you might want to revisit it on and off of that too, because it's not just for you to look at. You must be live. You want to live your values. So I don't have my branding cup right here, but on my branding cup, it has my business values in it. But I have it on my whiteboard right here, whereas my whole values of educating, empowering, it's right here, and doing things in excellence. I can't remember. And then we have the part of having that community. For me, those are things that for my values that are very important. So you want to make sure you put your values where you can see them and keep it visible, right? Keep it visible. So we're getting to the last part, the last segment of what is your superpower. If you're watching the replay or you come in late, go back and watch the beginning, because I shared some key factors of of figuring out what your brand superpower is. So the last part is, once you've got all the 3 part where we first figure out what your brand identity is, figure out what makes you unique, and then establishing your business core values. The next thing is you want to align your brand identity and your brand values. So, how do we do that? Right? How do we do that? So, what you're gonna do is ensure your identity elements and values complement each other. So basically, it means like all the tangible stuff that you have for your business and your intangible, they need to complement your values. right? It should be seamless, it should be consistent, and it should be able to you should be able to convey this consistently throughout your brand image. So whatever the value is, whatever whenever you are responding to a post, whenever you have your captions, whatever you have on your colors, because even in the colors of your brand invoke part of the components of your values. I think last week, yeah, last week, my mentoring group, we talked about figuring out that value, the psychology of colors, and how we do it, because we focus on our brand colors and how we can infuse that into our brand and our values. So the importance behind it and how to use the different saturations of it too. So all those different things, even your logo, figure out how you can reflect your values in those components of your brand, right? Oh, sorry. And I said, now the thing is, I would just talk about that, but you want to go back on your website and do a audit messaging. Basically, does your website have copy or wordings that reflect your value? Does your ads have copying? Social media, you want to reinforce your value. You want to make sure everything aligns. And in this day of AI, there is ways to do that. So if you finish doing all that brand work on the AI and you're able to infuse, you are able to say, hey, infuse this language into my content copy. And then you can go back and look at it and make edits to make it more personal to you. So use the tools that are out there. There are a lot of tools out there that you can use to reinforce your brand and make sure it aligns with your business. All right. So now you want to make sure people who are in your team understand your brand identity and values. So people who are on my team, we have they have our company handbook that talk about our brand. They talk to me a lot, so they have access to me, so they can know what my brand is. They watch the videos and stuff like that. And also we have a social media content management playbook of how we are going to post online, who we're addressing, what is our topics that we're going to be focusing on. So it makes sure that everybody in the company knows when you're talking to people, you want to make sure you give them the ECS treatment. So what is that? ECS is around creative solution. I've had to, use the acronym. Basically, whatever your brand is, do everybody get that same treatment from the beginning to end? You want to make sure that that's the part of it you're doing too. So make sure your staff knows it. Provide them with guidelines and training, because that will keep things consistent. So I meet with my team every week to make sure everything's online. I meet with my interns twice a week to make sure they understand what's going on, providing them training, because that way it empowers them and they get to know you more. And when we're, so when we're doing things, they're not wondering, okay, is this on brand? Is this not on brand? Because they are meeting with me weekly, twice a week, or even more. So they're able to effectively communicate to our target market. So this part, once you've done this part, that will take you to another level. So today we're just focusing on what's your brand superpower. Next week, we're going to go more into detail, continue that. But if you have any questions about your brands, feel free to put in the chat. If you want more support, we have our mentorship group that opens right now. So make sure you subscribe. I probably did not put that banner up, but let me put it. So you just go to our website and we focus on everything branding. And this month we are going deeper into how to infuse your brand in Canva to do for all your components. So we're building assets for our mentees this month. So they're building their own assets together. Anyway, so to close, we talked about having a clearly defined brand and to set your core values that it provides you success in growing your business. It provides you success in allowing people to know who you are, right? To know who you are, what you stand for, and what you do, right? And by doing that, it helps you attract the right audience and it helps you build loyalty. This is one thing. You want to have those fans, because people who are on social media, they see you, And once if they're not on your mailing list, they're cold leads. They just see you, but you want to draw them in. So when you have your call to action, find them to draw in to connect with you, whether it be they are joining your mailing list, whether it be they are following you, So the same thing here. If you've made it this far, hey, you know what? Might as well subscribe to our channel because we want to have you here, right? So, yeah. So once you build your brand voice and your brand value, you are set. But also remember, one key is to revisit your brand values and your brand, all these brand component regularly, because you want to make sure that not only you know what you're talking about, your team know what you're talking about. If you hire someone else or you have your systems in place, people know that you're still being consistent, because sometimes life be lifing and then you go a different direction, right? But you want to be able to say, okay, hey, this will be my center, my true north. I'm going to center myself there. This is what my brand bring me back to the center to make sure I'm going that same direction. And if you need to pivot, okay, I need to pivot. I need to rebrand and get more clearer because now I'm going more deeper. So when I started my brand, I had one wide focus, and then it became more narrow and narrow and narrow. So as you build your brand, as you build your company, make sure you're looking at that, because people say, I want to work on marketing. Yeah, that's true. You can work on marketing. But if you're working on marketing, who are you talking to? What are you saying to them? This is why going back to that foundation of building your brand, making sure it is clear and succinct, you're able to have that conversation and when you're ready to share your unique value proposition and your message, and you're able to market your business more effectively to the right audience. You might be like, I'm getting the wrong people. Yeah, you're probably getting the wrong. You have the perfect product, but the wrong people. So you're probably using the wrong platform. So this is where you have to make an evaluation. Say, okay, what platform are they on? And how do I speak to them? And what are they looking for? So that might be a next whole video. We're going to go into that. But today we just wanted to help you figure out what is your brand superpower. And if you do need more support, we are here to support you. We're here to support you. And I'm here to support you to get your brand to the next level. You want to start 2024. You want to start a new year with a perfect brand position, right? So if you made this far to the end, thank you so much. We appreciate you. Make sure you are sharing this to others. Make sure you are liking this, and make sure you are subscribed to our channel, right? All right. So have a good day. Sending you guys some love. And I'll see you guys next week. Remember, you got this. Keep focused. Do not give up. All right. Bye, everybody.